I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it. We don't want anybody to have any sort of way to get it down. The episode of you when you were on The View, when you were running for president.
Right.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
Please, let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy. We love it.
They were talking about you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering, and then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Joe Biden knows how to do this. Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
This is not a joke. The View just hit rock bottom, and it's messier than anyone ever expected. After years of throwing shade, fiery debates, and lawsuit threats hanging in the air like storm clouds, it's finally raining down hard. The daytime talk show, known for stirring the pot, is now drowning in legal drama so wild even ABC is jumping ship. We're talking over 30 major defamation lawsuits. Not one, not two, 30 plus. And no, this isn't about petty disputes or slap-on-the-wrist settlements. These lawsuits are stacked taller than Whoopi's filmography and more serious than Joy Behar's side-eye. Whoopi Goldberg is now facing jaw-dropping allegations that could stain her legacy for good. Joy Behar, neck-deep in legal chaos, with whispers that even her lawyers are sweating bullets.
Deliberate, concerted, repeated pushing of hoaxes. You're like, wait a second, like, come on, man, this is too.
And Sunny Hostin? Insiders say she's barely keeping it together behind the scenes, running on fumes and prayer. The drama is so bad it's got the whole cast looking like they just walked off a reality show reunion instead of a daytime panel. But the names calling them out? That's where it gets nuclear. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Joe Rogan, Carrie Underwood. Yes, Carrie freaking Underwood. These aren't random internet trolls. These are A-listers and political powerhouses uniting with one goal: to bring The View to its knees. Allegedly, they're fed up with being slandered and misrepresented by the host's constant commentary, on air, backstage, and even in casual interviews. It's not just drama anymore, it's war. Now here's the real kicker. Multiple sources say ABC is ready to cut the cord. Yep. Suspension is officially on the table. Execs are panicking, advertisers are pulling out, and the network is trying to distance itself like it's a PR crime scene. Some sponsors reportedly dropped out within hours of hearing who just filed the final lawsuit. And let's just say it sent shockwaves across the entertainment world. One media analyst didn't hold back either, saying, if you average out The View hosts, you're looking at some of the least careful mouths on television. Another insider added, they say what people are thinking, but they say it raw, unfiltered, and without any legal safety net.
Out The View hosts among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth.
So now the question is, what was the final straw? What triggered this explosion of lawsuits all at once? Who hit that legal nuke that caused even billion-dollar sponsors to flee like it's a sinking ship? Buckle up, because this is only the beginning of The View's most dangerous chapter yet. Trust me, you do not want to blink right now. This drama, it's too wild to miss. But before we dive in, smash that like button and hit subscribe, because stories this juicy, you'll want front row seats every time it drops. Done? Good. Now let's unpack the madness. Let's rewind a bit. The women of The View have been stirring up chaos for years. Unfiltered hot takes? Check. Heated on-air brawls? Check. Throwing wild accusations like it's dodgeball? Double check. They've walked the line between just opinions and straight-up defamation more times than we can count. And every time, they slipped out untouched. Why? Because they had a safety net. Big contracts, high-powered lawyers, and a network that looked the other way. But that safety net just snapped. And now, it's free fall.
X is an adorable name, and perhaps a grown woman who named herself Whoopi should refrain from mocking a 4-year-old for the name his parents.
Whoopi Goldberg, once hailed as a Hollywood legend, is now at the center of a full-blown PR meltdown. The chaos started when she went after Elon Musk and didn't hold back on live TV. She mocked his child's unique name, questioned his mental stability, and even called him unfit to lead, with millions watching. And Elon? He didn't laugh it off. He clapped back, with force. Word is Musk filed a $900 million lawsuit against Whoopi herself, and he didn't show up empty-handed. Sources say he brought emails, receipts, and alleged secret media ties, trying to prove Whoopi had connections with certain groups working behind the scenes to ruin his image. Yeah, this wasn't petty. This was personal, and that was just lawsuit number 1. Next up, Carrie Underwood. Sweet, innocent Carrie? Not so much. She stepped into the ring after Whoopi made some bold accusations on air, implying Carrie was involved in shady backdoor deals in the music industry. Just threw it out there like it was fact. Carrie didn't even flinch publicly, but behind the scenes, legal teams were activated and paperwork started flying. Now imagine this. You've got Elon Musk, one of the most powerful billionaires alive, and Carrie Underwood, America's country sweetheart, both dragging the same show to court back-to-back. That's not bad luck. That's a straight-up takedown. And the dominoes didn't stop there. The moment these lawsuits hit, more people came forward. Executives started panicking. Staff members started leaking. Everyone was trying to save themselves from the storm building around Whoopi and her co-hosts. Because it wasn't just one comment. It was years of unchecked talk. Years of shade thrown without filter. And now, every episode, every clip, every hot take, is being replayed and picked apart by lawyers who smell blood in the water. So yeah, buckle in.
Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing.
This isn't just the downfall of a daytime show. This is looking like a media courtroom showdown that could change talk TV forever. Carrie Underwood? Oh, she didn't stay quiet for a second. She came in swinging, hard, with a multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit that had Whoopi's legal team scrambling like headless chickens. According to Carrie's reps, Whoopi's on-air comments weren't just opinions. They were bold-faced lies. Lies that reportedly cost Carrie millions in endorsements, canceled brand deals, and nearly derailed her entire global tour. "You don't mess with America's country queen," her publicist said, and she meant it. Carrie had stadiums to fill, records topping charts, and a squeaky clean image she'd spent decades building. Then, out of nowhere, she gets smeared on national TV. It was personal. Her legal documents claimed Whoopi's baseless accusations painted her as manipulative and unethical, damaging both her fan trust and her professional reputation in a matter of minutes. And that's just lawsuit number 2. Enter the Trump family, and things got nuclear. Whoopi, in full-on conspiracy mode, had thrown everything at them over the years. Accusations of shady finances, alleged criminal behavior, you name it. She dropped it on air like she was hosting a courtroom, not a talk show. And here's the thing. None of it was backed by concrete evidence. Zilch. Nada. So what did the Trumps do? They brought the full legal arsenal. Donald, Ivanka, even Eric. They all reportedly got involved. Their legal team filed a massive suit against The View, accusing them of defamation, character assassination, and severe reputational harm. According to sources close to the family, they were done being the show's go-to punching bag. They claimed Whoopi and her co-hosts had crossed the line so many times it stopped being commentary and became a coordinated smear campaign.
It is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a rabies infested.
But just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, guess who pulled up? Joe Rogan. Yep. The king of podcasting himself stepped into the chaos. And he didn't come empty-handed. Remember that weird segment about Hen House? The alleged scandal involving tainted bakery products and shady podcast sponsorships? Whoopi aired it like it was fact. Problem is, Rogan says it was completely made up. He says Whoopi fabricated the whole segment to make him look corrupt and careless. The kicker? It aired during a week when Rogan's podcast had one of its biggest sponsorship deals ever. And allegedly, that deal vanished overnight. So Rogan did what Rogan does best. He exposed her. Not only did he clap back on his own podcast with the receipts, but he followed it up with a defamation lawsuit that ripped through the entertainment industry like wildfire. His claim? That Whoopi deliberately targeted his name and platform with false accusations, knowing full well the damage it would cause. Now here's where it gets crazy. This wasn't just one-off lawsuits trickling in. This was a domino effect. Each public figure who got dragged on The View, they watched how Musk, Underwood, Trump, and Rogan handled it, and they followed suit. Literally, one after another. Legal teams kept popping up. Court docs were flying. Former producers started talking. PR teams were having full-blown meltdowns behind the scenes at ABC. Total panic. At first, they tried the usual cover-up playbook. Quiet settlements, watered-down apologies, vague, "we take this seriously" press statements. But the lawsuits weren't stopping. They were stacking. Once the total crossed 10, execs realized they had a financial time bomb on their hands. Some insiders claimed the legal costs alone were racking up past 7 figures, fast. And that's before a single settlement or ruling.
Turns out I was filthy.
She was so filthy dirty, disgusting, half the place left. I said I'd never hire her again.
I was filthy. And stand on that fact. I have always been filthy. And you knew that when you hired me. I headlined, babe, at your casino, which I might have continued to play had you not run it into the ground.
Exactly.
But
It does that.
you know, listen, how dumb are you? You hired me 4 times. You can go to William Morris and get the things, because I know you all are going to be looking for it. So talk to William Morris. You hired me 4 times, and you didn't know what you were getting.
The chaos was so intense that network insiders reportedly had emergency meetings daily. Lawyers were flown in from New York and LA crisis managers were hired overnight. Internal investigations were launched into every single episode that featured controversial claims. The legal department couldn't keep up. The HR department? Even worse. And the sponsors? They saw the storm brewing and started fleeing in droves. Top-tier advertisers pulled their money, quietly at first, hoping not to make a scene. But as the lawsuits got louder, the exits got bolder. By the time the Rogan lawsuit hit the headlines, at least 6 major sponsors had withdrawn completely, leaving ABC scrambling to fill the gaps with bargain bin ads that didn't come close to the show's usual rates. Internally, morale was tanking. Staff didn't know if they'd be next on the chopping block. Some allegedly started leaking info to protect themselves. Others flat out quit. The View, once daytime TV royalty, was now being whispered about like a sinking ship. And the worst part? The storm wasn't over. More lawsuits were rumored to be in the works. More names were being mentioned. And ABC, they were running out of excuses and money to keep the ship afloat. This wasn't just a scandal. This was a collapse in real time. Once the lawsuits hit the public eye, the fallout was immediate and brutal. Sponsors started pulling out, some within hours of the headlines. Advertisers canceled multi-year deals overnight. Big brands that had been with The View for years suddenly wanted nothing to do with the show. And the damage didn't stop there. The public turned on them, fast. Social media went wild, calling for accountability, cancellation, and full-on removal of the entire panel. The once loyal fan base? Gone. The trust? Shattered. With no sponsors, no safety net, and a mountain of lawsuits growing by the day, ABC had no choice. The network officially suspended The View, indefinitely. Production was shut down. Taping was halted. And the crew was sent home without warning. There was no final episode, no farewell message, just silence. A network insider said it best. It's not just the lawsuits, it's the damage to our brand. The View used to be bold, now it's a liability. So now the question is, what happens next? Whoopi Goldberg is reportedly on the verge of being fired outright. Sources inside ABC claim her massive contract is under serious review, and top execs are already having internal discussions about who could take her spot if they even choose to bring the show back at all. Her legal troubles alone are reportedly making the higher-ups nervous, especially with more allegations possibly incoming. Joy Behar isn't waiting around. She's already lawyered up, fast. Insiders say she's in panic mode, genuinely afraid this whole situation could bankrupt her. She's not just caught up in one legal mess. Her name is attached to several lawsuits, and each one comes with heavy financial risk. Then there's Sunny Hostin, who's been noticeably silent. No tweets, no public statements, nothing. But her silence, it's not helping. Her name appears in multiple lawsuits, and insiders say her quiet approach might be strategic, an attempt to avoid further legal complications while her team handles things privately. The View went from daytime royalty to full-scale meltdown. And now, ABC is left trying to figure out how to recover. The damage is done. The cameras are off. And for the first time in decades, the future of The View is completely up in the air. And now, things just took another dark turn. The show's executive producer has reportedly stepped down, walking away from the mess entirely. No warning, no official statement, just gone. That's not a good sign. It's usually what happens right before the ship sinks. Meanwhile, ABC's legal department is in full crisis mode. Insiders say they're working around the clock, trying to patch holes, assess risk, and figure out how much more damage might be coming. But let's be real. At this point, the future of The View looks bleak, if not totally dead. There are whispers that ABC might attempt a full rebrand. Clean slate, new faces, new format, something safer, less controversial, and legally airtight. But honestly, would anyone even watch it without the drama? Is there even a show left? The whole appeal was that it pushed boundaries. And now? That edge turned into lawsuits, career destruction, and a collapsing empire. Let's not sugarcoat it. The damage is already done. So now we want to hear from you. Is this really the end of The View as we know it? Should Whoopi, Joy, and Sunny finally face legal consequences for what they've said over the years? Or is this suspension just a temporary pause before the network does a full sweep and cancels the show for good? Is it accountability, or is it overkill? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We actually read them. Seriously, your take could end up in the next video. Let's get this conversation going. And before you scroll away, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss the next drop. Because trust, this drama is far from over, and we've got more stories, more tea, and more chaos coming your way real soon. Appreciate you for watching, and see you in the next.